how are you? I think you will be very happy. You are enjoying lockdown holidays and simultaneously your study is also going on. It is very good thing. In my first video, we studied part 1 of optical activity. In that part, I explained what is monochromatic light, what is plane polarized light, ordinary light, and optical activity, optically active compound, dextrorotatory compound and levorotatory compound, dextrorotation, levorrotation, asymmetric carbon atom or chiral carbon atom. All these things we have studied in my first lecture. Today we are going to study second part. So optical activity part 2. I have taken the example of 2-chlorobutane. In 2-chlorobutane, carbon is attached to 4 different atoms or groups H, CS3, Cl, C2H5. Therefore, this carbon is called chiral carbon atom. Another structure I have written here. This also represents 2-chlorobutane. Here is carbon Cl, CS3, H and C2H5. So yesterday I told you this is chiral molecule. That means the green ball represents carbon atom and 4 different atoms or groups are attached to this carbon atom. Therefore, this is the example of chiral carbon atom or asymmetric carbon atom. In 2-chlorobutane, there is also asymmetric carbon atom, which is denoted by putting an asterisk on it. So in this structure, this is different structure, this is different structure. So these two structures, in between these two structures, I draw mirror. So this represents mirror. This is different compound and this is different compound. Stereoisomers which have same molecular and structural formula but different spatial arrangement of atoms or groups around a symmetric carbon atom is called optical isomerism. Stereoisomers in which the isomers have same molecular formula, same structural formula, but they differ in the spatial arrangement of atoms or groups around chiral carbon atom is called optical isomerism. So this is object and this is its mirror image. First, I want to explain one thing. I want to tell you the difference between superimposable mirror image and non-superimposable mirror image. So look here, here are 2 spoons. Suppose this is object and this is its mirror image. Object and mirror image exactly overlap. So these are impossible mirror images. These mirror images are called superimposable mirror images. If it is not clear, I will give you another example. This is one glass. This is another glass. This is object. This is its mirror image. Object and mirror image exactly overlap. Therefore, the example of glass is, or their mirror images are superimposable mirror images. I explain the point by taking one more example. This is one ball. This is another ball. Suppose this is object and this is its mirror image. Object exactly overlap with its mirror image. Therefore, they are superimposable mirror images. I think it is clear what is superimposable mirror image. Now I explain non-superimposable mirror image. This is my left hand. This is my right hand. Suppose this is object and this is its mirror image. Object does not overlap exactly with its mirror image. That means they are different. So is it clear? The object does not overlap exactly with its mirror image. Therefore, these are non-superimposable mirror images. That means our left hand is similar to right hand, but they are not identical. They are not identical. The same thing is happening here. This is 2-chlorobutane. This is also 2-chlorobutane. This is object and this is its non-superimposable mirror image. If you take this object and place on this mirror image, then you will find that it will not overlap. Therefore, these are non-superimposable mirror images. Non-superimposable mirror images. Now you see, these two are different compounds. Suppose this compound rotates plane polarized light in clockwise direction. Then it is called D or plus 2-chlorobutane. Suppose this compound rotates plane polarized light in anti-clockwise direction, then it is called N or minus 2-chlorobutane. This is dextrorotatory compound and this is levorotatory compound. So 2-chlorobutane contains one asymmetric carbon atom. One asymmetric carbon atom, therefore it exists in two optically active form. How to calculate the number of optical isomers? The formula I have written on the board. Number of optical isomers A is equal to 2 raised to n, where n represents number of asymmetric carbon atoms. In this example, the number of optical isomers is calculated by this. A is equal to 2. It contains one asymmetric carbon atom, therefore 2 raised to 1, that is equal to 2. So 2-chlorobutane exists in two different optically active forms. One is dextrorotatory, another is levorotatory. I give you one more example. This is the example of lactic acid. This is object and this is its mirror image. The mirror image is non-superimposable. So here I write mirror. Suppose one compound rotates plane polarized light in clockwise direction, in anti-clockwise direction, then it is called L or minus lactic acid. Suppose another compound rotates plane polarized light in clockwise direction, then it is called D or plus lactic acid. The compound which is dextrorotatory and which is levorotatory is decided by experiment. By looking the structure, we cannot tell whether it is dextrorotatory or levorotatory. One simple question I ask you, in glucose there are 4 asymmetric carbon atoms. Glucose contains 4 asymmetric carbon atoms. Therefore, number of optical isomers is equal to, what is the value? Calculate. There are 4 asymmetric carbon. A is equal to 2 raised to n is the formula. Therefore, 2 raised to 4, that is equal to 16. So, glucose represents 16 optical isomers. So, the formula is very important. It is not given in your textbook, but very important. That is why I told you. So, A is equal to 2 raised to n is the formula to calculate optical number of optical isomers. So, this is L or minus lactic acid, this is D or plus lactic acid. Two optical isomers which are related to each other as an object and its non-superimposable mirror image are known as enantiomers or enantiomorphs or optical antipodes. Optical isomers which are related to each other as an object and its non-superimposable mirror image are known as enantiomers or enantiomorphs or optical antipodes. They have similar physical properties like melting point, boiling point, viscosity, density, refractive index, etc. But they differ in their action on plane polarized light. Enantiomers are also known as enantiomorphs or optical antipodes. They have similar physical properties like melting point, boiling point, viscosity, density, refractive index, but they differ in their action on plane polarized light. After this, I am going to explain what is racemic mixture. So look here, if I take 50% dextrorotatory compound D or plus compound and 50% levorotatory compound L or minus, and a mixture is prepared. The mixture is found to be optically inactive. An equimolar mixture of dextroform and LEO form of the same optically active compound is optically inactive, and this mixture is called racemic mixture or racemate or racemic modification. I repeat once again, very important point. An equimolar mixture of dextrorotatory compound and levorotatory compound is optically inactive due to external compensation, and this mixture is called racemic mixture or racemate or racemic modification. One isomer rotates the plane of plane polarized light in clockwise direction. The other isomer rotates the plane of plane polarized light in opposite direction to the same extent. Therefore, the effect of one isomer is cancelled by the other. This is known as external compensation. Due to external compensation, racemic mixture is optically inactive. Suppose this compound rotates plane of plane polarized light to the left by 30 degree. This compound also rotates the plane of plane polarized light up to 30 degree but towards right hand side. The effect of one isomer is cancelled by the effect of other isomer. This is known as racemic mixture or racemate. One more point I am going to explain what is chirality. Optically active objects which are non-superimposable mirror images contain asymmetric carbon atom. The are called, I repeat once again, any object which are non-superimposable with its mirror image is said to be chiral, and the property is called chirality. Any object which is non-superimposable with its mirror image is called chiral molecule, and the property is called chirality. Chiral is the word related to hand, meaning handedness. Every chiral molecule containing one asymmetric carbon atom shows optical activity or optical isomerism. So these are the points that I have explained. I want to explain some more points. The video will be stopped for few seconds and then it will again start. So wait for few seconds. So we were discussing optical activity. One more important point from this article I am going to explain, try to understand. So I want to explain here Van 't Hoff and Lebel theory. The name of the theory is not given in our textbook, but its related information is given in our textbook. So it was believed that all molecules are planar. For long in old days it is believed that suppose this is methane molecule. This methane molecule is supposed to be planar molecule, flat molecule, two-dimensional molecule. But Fantoff and Libel shows that the molecules are not flat. They are tetrahedral. They are tetrahedral. So this is methane molecule. Look here, this is methane molecule. The molecule is not flat, it is three-dimensional. This is hydrogen, this is another hydrogen, this is another hydrogen, and this is fourth hydrogen. The bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. This is a symmetric molecule. This is a symmetric molecule. Green ball represents carbon atom. These are different atoms or groups bonded to this carbon atom. This is tetrahedral molecule. Now it is problem how to represent tetrahedral molecule on board or on paper. So I write here carbon atom. The bonds which are present on the plane of paper or on the board of the paper are shown by normal lines W, Z. These are the atoms or groups attached to this. The bond going behind the plane of the paper is shown by dotted wedge. Dotted wedge. Suppose here is X atom. The bond projecting above the plane of the board is shown by solid wedge. So a tetrahedral molecule is represented by this formula, wedge formula. The bonds which are present on the plane of the board are shown by normal lines. The bond going behind the plane of the paper are shown by dotted wedge or dotted lines, and bond projecting above the plane of the board is shown by solid line, that is wedge, broad line. This is a symmetric carbon atom. So lactic acid, 2-chlorobutane can be shown by this three-dimensional structure. I draw here its mirror image. This is carbon, here W, Z, X and Y. Here is asterisk. Here is mirror. So this is wedge formula. According to Fantoff and Libel theory, a tetrahedral carbon is represented like this. Now these two are enantiomers or enantiomorphs or optical antipodes. Suppose the question will be, if question is asked like this, explain optical activity of 2-chlorobutane. Then how will you explain optical activity of 2-chlorobutane? You write in your answer paper, the property of a compound which rotates the plane of plane polarized light is called optically active compound. 2-chlorobutane can be represented like this. CS3 C2H5 HCl. It contains one asymmetric carbon atom. The number of optical isomer is calculated by A is equal to 2 raised to n, that is equal to 2 raised to 1, that is equal to 2. 2-chlorobutane number of optical isomers is equal to 2. Therefore, 2-chlorobutane exists in two optically active forms. One is this structure, another is CS3 C2H5 ClH. Here is mirror. Suppose this compound rotates plane polarized light in clockwise direction, therefore it is D or denoted by D or plus sign. Suppose this compound rotates plane of plane polarized light towards left, it is called L or minus sign. Then you also write in your answer, an equimolar mixture of D form and L form of 2-chlorobutane gives third form known as racemic form, which is optically inactive due to external compensation. So you have to give the answer like this for 3 marks. A question was repeated in board exam for number of times. Explain optical activity of 2-chlorobutane or explain optical activity of lactic acid. Similarly, you can explain optical activity of lactic acid. So after this, I want to explain Fisher projection formula. So you know that this is the Wedge formula. I convert this Wedge formula into Fisher formula. I am going to explain how to convert 3-dimensional formula into 2-dimension. In Fisher formula, a carbon atom is shown by crossed lines. So this is one horizontal line, this is vertical line, and here is the carbon atom. This is carbon atom. So look here, this is tetravalent carbon. The bonds which are present in the plane of the paper are shown by normal lines. The bond going behind the plane is shown by dotted line. The bond projecting above the plane is shown by solid wedge. So in Fisher projection formula, a carbon is represented by cross, one horizontal line, one vertical line. I want to convert this structure into Fisher structure. Look here how to convert. The bonds which are present on the plane of the paper are shown on vertical line. So here is W and here is Z. According to Fisher projection, the bonds which are present on the plane of the paper are shown on vertical line, and these bonds are shown on horizontal line. Now the question is, this x should be written on this side or on this side. The answer is like this. Suppose here is the observer. The observer is looking through this space between these two bonds. The observer is looking. Suppose these are two hands of the observer. On left hand side x is present, therefore I write x here and I write y here. This is Fisher projection formula. Fisher projection formula. I repeat once again how to remember this. You remember the English word hug. Hug means मराठीमध्ये त्याला आपण आलिंगन देणे किंवा गळा भेट असं म्हणतोय. जे हे दोन ॲटम आहेत, एक बोर्डच्या पाठीमागे जाणारा आणि एक बोर्डच्या पुढे येणारा, हे त्या ऑब्झर्वरचे दोन्ही हात आहेत. हा लेफ्ट हँड साईडला आहे, हा राईट हँड साईडला आहे, म्हणून एक्स इथं लिहिला आणि वाय इथं लिहिला. सो लाईक दिस द मोलेक्यूल is represented in Fisher projection by this formula. The bond angle is 90 degree. In wedge and dash formula, this is represented like this. This is carbon. This is carbon. You assume this is a person. So the bonds going behind the plane of the paper are shown by dotted lines, and the bonds projecting above the plane are shown by wedges. Here W, Z, X, Y. So remember the word hug. हग म्हणजे आलिंगन देणे किंवा गळा भेट. एच म्हणजे हॉरिझॉन्टल. हॉरिझॉन्टल मीन्स द हँड्स ऑफ द पर्सन. दिस इज पर्सन, दिस इज द हँड्स ऑफ द पर्सन. द हँड्स आर कमिंग आउट ऑफ द प्लेन अँड द हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन इज गोईंग बिहाइंड द प्लेन, इज गोईंग बिहाइंड द प्लेन. So like this the explanation of optical activity. मित्रांनो, हा व्हिडिओ बनवण्याचा प्रयत्न मी पहिल्यांदा केलेला आहे. याच्यामध्ये बऱ्याच मिस्टेक्स असू शकतात, एरर्स असू शकतात, काही रेकॉर्डिंगचे दोष असू शकतात. आपण ते इग्नोर करा, दुर्लक्ष करा. सर्वात प्रथम आपलं जे टेक्स्टबुक आहे ते टेक्स्टबुक वाचा. त्या टेक्स्टबुकवरती नोट्स तयार करा. त्या टेक्स्टबुकमध्ये एक्झरसाइजमध्ये जे क्वेश्चन्स दिलेत ते क्वेश्चन्स वाचा, ते क्वेश्चन्स सोडवा. JEE नीटचे विद्यार्थी जे असतील, ज्यांना एक्स्ट्रा तयारी करायची आहे, त्यांनी आणखीन रेफरन्स बुक वाचू शकताय किंवा यूट्यूबवरती बरेच JEE नीटचं मार्गदर्शन अवेलेबल आहे, ते तुम्ही रेफर करू शकताय. तर ही जी सुट्टी तुम्हाला मिळालेली आहे त्याचा सदुपयोग करा. भरपूर अभ्यास करा, भरपूर आनंदात राहा, अभ्यास करत राहा. शंका असतील तर विचारा, वेळ वाया घालवू नका. आणि काही सजेशन्स असतील, म्हणजे याच्यामध्ये काय मिस्टेक्स होतात किंवा आणखीन काय इम्प्रूव्हमेंट करता येईल का, आपल्याला समजत असेल तर आपण कंटिन्यू करू, समजत नसेल तर आपण नेटवरचे व्हिडिओ पाहू शकताय. तर थँक्स फॉर वॉचिंग. थँक्यू सो मच.